Well, we have spent the last 5 years paying down debt, investing everything we could possibly invest to save for our future and reach financial independence. And we finally did that this year in 2024. And now we have to figure out how we're going to withdraw the money we've been spending the past 5 years saving and investing.
Yeah.
So today we wanted to talk to you about how we've strategized and set up our cash flow for retirement.
Yeah, and it's funny because this is actually
Buen camino!
one of the questions that we always wanted to know the answer. The easy part is to save. The difficult part is how I'm gonna withdraw that. So we are in Canada, and we wanted to share with you the accounts that we have set up and how we have decided to withdraw our money. So to summarize the accounts that we have a joint checking account, we have a high interest savings account, we have margin accounts, and we have the retirement accounts and also the TFSAs.
And a lira.
And oh yeah, that's the new one, a lira, which is a locked in
Retirement.
account, which is basically the pension that you
Yeah.
use it to have.
Yeah.
So those were the accounts that we have in place. But now, how are we planning to draw down that money?
Yeah, so we've kind of set it up. I guess a lot of people call it the 3 buckets. And so I guess our 3 buckets are going to be labeled liquid cash, passive income, and growth.
Yes.
So those are our 3 buckets and sort of how we're structuring this drawdown of cash in our retirement time. So we're going to talk about each one individually.
Yes, but just before we start, please don't copy what we are doing. This is our own example with the accounts that we have in place and the amount of money that we have on each account, and it does influence. And that's why one of the points that we are going to talk to you maybe later on this video is how are we able to do this, how you guys decided to do, and withdraw the amount on that specific project.
Yeah, just do your due diligence, right? Make sure everything suits your life.
So why don't we go and talk the first one, the liquid cash?
Yeah, so liquid cash, this is pretty self-explanatory. It's just cash that we have sitting ready to use from our day-to-day needs, right? And that cash isn't sitting in an investment somewhere. It's actually in a high-interest savings account. The account we've chosen to use is with Wealthsimple, and right now, currently, it's 4.5% interest.
4.5%, yeah.
So the money isn't just losing its value; it's maintaining more or less its value at 4.5% interest. And then each month, when those credit card statements come due, we pull the cash from the account and pay off our statements in full. So we're never carrying a balance on our credit cards, but the vast majority of the money that comes out of that account goes to paying off credit cards.
Yes. Anything else
Yes,
before we
just
go?
one thing. So just as a note, as a side note, the high interest savings accounts are great, but I'm not sure about anywhere else. Here in Canada, any interest you earn in these accounts is taxable income, and it's taxable at a regular rate. So there's no tax deductions for it being in a Canadian account or anything like that. No, you pay interest or tax on that interest as though it's regular income.
The next account that we are calling this account as our passive income. Basically, those accounts are our margin accounts. You might have seen in our previous videos when we were talking about our dividend income. This is, the accounts that we have within the margin accounts.
Yeah, those are the investments all in those are all the dividends. And if you want to hear more about those, just a side note, hop over into our membership section because that's where we do our monthly dividend breakdowns now, as well as our net worth updates. Just to kind of, if you're interested in that stuff, hop over there. But so the passive income, those are the dividends that we get every month. And if you go back to the liquid cash bucket, if we've withdrawn, for simplicity's sake, the $5,000 we need to pay our bills that month, then we'll take $5,000 from that passive income dividends and put into the liquid cash. So the liquid cash amount is always going to be remaining consistent, and we'll only remove the dividends we require in order to top up that liquid cash account.
Exactly. And the next account that we have is our growth investments. When we mean growth, we call ourselves hybrid investors because we do have investments on real estate. We have investments on dividends, as you guys can see, and also on ETFs, on growth ETFs. And this is actually where we are keeping our growth. Why? because based on our withdrawal strategy, we knew that those were the accounts that we're gonna be kind of using at the end.
Yeah. What are those accounts?
The RSPs, yeah, the lira. I cannot forget about the lira anymore.
And the
Right.
TFSA.
And the TFSA.
Sorry, we didn't tell you what the growth accounts were. So those are the 3 accounts that we're really not touching anytime soon. Those are going to sit and continue to hopefully grow in value for the foreseeable future until such a time that we'll start to draw those down.
Yes, so that's the power of compounding interest. We know that those are going to be the ones that are going to withdraw at the end, so let them grow. We don't need the money, so we are good.
Yeah,
right?
and I think at some point we're going to have to figure out when that time is going to come, because tax-wise, different things are going to come into play. But right now, for the next at least 10 to 15 years, those accounts will not be touched.
Yes, and this is, and as you've mentioned before, that's why it's important for you to run the different scenarios and know when you're gonna be withdrawing that money, right? Because if you don't know, you end up paying more taxes. It's not that we don't want to pay taxes. We will pay taxes, but
Yeah. And what Jayan's talking about is running the scenarios. That's where you need to speak to that fee-only financial advisor. Unless you're really good or you have access to some of this software or portfolio visualizer, stuff like that can really help out as well. But in our case, we chose to talk to 3 separate financial advisors, fee-only. Well, 2 fee-only financial advisors and cash flows and portfolio.
yes,
And all 3 of them came out with the same numbers, and they were independent of each other. So we were quite confident in the strategy that we were given. And in that strategy is where the tax implications and the tax that you would end up paying, depending on where you're drawing your cash from at any time.
yes. So I think that's it. So that's how we did set up our investment. In your case, it might be different, but please do your own research. Don't copy what we are doing, because this is how our money is allocated and what is the best scenario for us. So, sorry, go
If
ahead.
you do have any questions, let us know down below. We'll see if we can answer them based on our experience, or to see if we can point you to somebody who may be able to help you.
Yes. So if you were to summarize, we have 3 accounts. We have the liquid cash. This is what we use for our, like
Day-to-day
monthly,
needs.
like day-to-day needs. We have the passive income. This is the accounts where we have our dividend investing.
And that account tops up the liquid cash.
Yes, and we have the growth, which is something that we are not gonna touch within the next, I'm gonna say, at least 10 years. So that's why we have our growth. We let the money there to grow as much as possible. Let the money work for you. It's time for the money work for us.
And if you're interested in how both Jayan and I retired early, or the reasons behind why we retired earlier, we're going to link the videos somewhere up here. So go and check those out.
Yeah. And for anything that you have said, we wanted to thank you again for your support. We hope that you are well. We hope that you are safe. And we'll see you in our next video.
Take care.
Bye.